WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Ireland. Today I have the lock-in from Corry. Yeah. And I have the Cask strength version. Yeah. All right, so for those of you who did not know, Corry was basically the first person who had the idea, hey, let's crowdsource a bottling. Now, WhistlePig were the guys who actually did it quicker because she sent out 200 of these tiny little sets. You had a tiny little sample with no star on it. You had, that was number one. You had a with a silver star on it. And you had one with a gold star on it, which was number three, which won. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try these and compare them as well. All right, so what do we have here? There's a wonderful, wonderful video on the Corry YouTube website. So if you have not yet subscribed to Corry YouTube, please do. Now, Corry, that's Louise. She's actually a master of social media. Her and her team, if you post something on Instagram, there's thousands of likes and retweets, and they're very good at Twitter, they're very good at Instagram, they're very good at Facebook. Unfortunately, somehow they're not very good at YouTube. So YouTube just, for example, the video that they put online where Eric actually made this whiskey. He took the casks out of the dunnage warehouse and filled them up into his container and blended that. Had like 83 views. Come on, guys. I mean, 200 people. This bottling was 464 bottles. 150 of them were cask strength. Yay, sold out within minutes. And the other 314 were at 46%. Now, to be very honest, I think I know one reason that the cask strength sold out. This bottle, the cask strength, was 99 euros for me at the irishmalt.com. The 46% was 89 euros. So this is 56.04%, and the normal was 43.86%. And so I was like, wait, there's like 10 euros difference between the two. Of course I'm going to buy the cask strength. Come on, it's always better. And so, of course, I bought it. And then a lot of people in Germany asked, did you also buy the other one? I was like, I never even thought about it. I open my bottles up, I share them, we drink them, everyone's happy. So they actually manually have to bottle this. They manually put on the labels. They manually put in the nice little thing here. Bottle number I have is 18 of 464. I have here the 56.04% alcohol volume. And I have here the nice little blanked out or blacked out moment. I'm going to read this. This is so cool. Yeah, it says here, this bottle is a statement to the strength and fellowship of our global whiskey community. In late March of 2020, we shut down Corry headquarters due to COVID-19. And it was a bleak time for many of us. In social isolation, the whiskey world came together to share drams, stories, and to support one another. We strive to be as open and transparent as the beep laws governing Irish whiskey will allow, and decided to take that to the next level by bringing whiskey drinkers into the process of creating a Corry Bonder's Blend. We prepared 3 different blends and then mailed 200 kits all over the world. On June 7th, we gathered together to taste and discuss the merits of each blend, and after a vote, we chose this one. A whiskey of our times, for our times. Thanks to you, Louise McGowan, founder, Corry. So I just love the little thing here. It's actually blacked out, yeah? Because someone complained that there was they actually forced her to make new labels. She said no. And she said, what if I just black it out? And okay, you can do that. But of course, the blacking out gives us more questions of, oh, what did she write? The Irish whiskey, the European whiskey laws are terrible. For example, just recently, I'm going to give a tasting here, and we're going to have Bruichladdich, the classic laddie, and so I put in the batch number, and then I went online, and it was like, wait a second, where's all the dates? They had the dates of one cask, which was 2007, and then the other casks were actually blacked out. And then it was a little asterisk on the side. According to European law, we no longer can talk about we can only talk about the youngest whiskey in this bottling. And I was like, wait a second, that concerns the label. And now people are complaining, and now Bruichladdich has actually been forced legally to no longer, in every other J.J. Corry, Kilhoen, and everyone else who's tried to. Compass Box has been having the same problem for years, but they used to put the information up on the website. But the years are now also have also disappeared there, because you can only mention the youngest whiskey. There is no possibility at the moment on printed material, online, or also in your pamphlets to talk about the age of the whiskey unless it's the youngest. We live in an age of transparency, and yet European law does not allow it. Okay, so this is my lock-in whiskey. Thank you. Thank you, J.J. Corry. Thank you, Eric. Eric, the video that you did together with Nave. I think I got it right halfway. I named halfway correctly. Awesome. Awesome video. Thank you very much. So we actually saw him take the first cask out, gorge it, empty it totally into his nice little 12-liter bucket, which is gauged that he can use. And then he took the second cask, and since it was halfway full, he could actually siphon it off and get the same amount. And then he took his 2006 malt cask and added the 30% to it. So we have 35% 2010 grain, which means 10-year-old. We have then 35% 4-year-old grain, and we have 30% 14-year-old single Irish malt whiskey, all combined, all married here for this wonderful thing. Now, to be very honest, I'm going to do my first blending project next month, and I'm worried. I'm worried that between the samples and between what actually arrives in the bottle, that there might be a difference. There might be a difference between what I think I'm going to produce and actually what happens, because you have your little samples, you mix them up together, you try them, go, oh, this is nice, and you put it up and you scale it up. In our case, it's also going to be about 350 bottles that we're going to do. And the difference between tiny little 3cl samples and 350 half-liter bottles is major. And especially if you leave the marriage for for about 2 months, the blending process, the cask might affect it a little bit, and so on. It might actually switch it a little bit. Could happen. So let's go here. On the nose, it's very, very citrus. I get a lime, I get a lemon, I get grain, I get wood. I get a lot of alcohol, by the way. It's very grainy. Number one that we did not choose was a third. A little bit smoother, to be honest. This was 10% grain and 10% malt and 90% grain. Also a little bit smoother, actually. Yeah, I know why. I did this in my German video, but I forgot to actually replenish the glasses here. Going back. This is actually number 3, the blend that won the gold star. Oh, much smoother. Oh, a lot of alcohol. Oh, almost cleaning material, cleaning product. A lot of alcohol. Oh, ethanol. And the blend number 1 was actually nice. I would have went with a 1 or a 3, to be honest. All right, let's try it. Okay, I tried to fruitiness at the beginning. Wow. And then, oh, boom, alcohol. Boom, wood, old wood. And then it goes up a little bit more, the fruitiness, and then that alcohol not the alcohol, the wood, that old wood remains. And the problem with this one is the finish. I do not like the finish. Yeah. It's not bad, but it's not great. supposedly, I'm using the word very strongly here, I know, is the gold number 3 the same as in the bottle? So let's try it. This is 55%, this is 56%. Should be basically the same. This should have 35, 35, 20. I'm sorry, 35, 35, 30. This should also have 35, 35 grain and 30% malt. And yet on the nose, this is so much harsher. This is so much smoother. I have the sneaky feeling that in the blend number 3, there was more than 30% malt. Or, and that's something I don't want to hope for, in the bottle, there's less than the 30% malt that we were promised here. Hope not. Mm. Mm. This is significantly better. There's a little bit of tiny little bit of the old wood that we have here, but the spice, the fruitiness, the maltiness of this whiskey is higher. Okay, the gold. Let's just move over to the silver, just for the heck of it. On the nose. Okay, I poured it at the very beginning, and I just got the full amount of alcohol. Now it's nice. Very similar. Ooh, 10% malt, 90% grain. These are almost the same. Now there's a little bit more of a younger grain here that kicks in, but this is more my personal opinion. I might be off with my taste. This has more of a resemblance to batch number 2, the Silver Star, than it does the Gold Star. All right. And now batch number 1, the No Star. I rewatched most of the video with Louise, how she actually did this. This was actually the third, and the third here blend. This is different. It's got much more of a lime, lemon, citrus moment. Stronger. Okay, so in my personal opinion, the lock-in tastes a little bit more along the lines of the blend number 2, the Silver Star, than it does for the blend number 3, the Gold Star. How that happened, as I said, I'm perfectly aware of the differences between a blending of a few samples and a major batch. That can happen. I do know that they blended in plastic containers, not in oak, that I'm going to do. I want to dilute this down to 35%. Just have a little bit more of a nuance of the individual flavors here. Okay, I get furniture polish, not something I really wanted. Wow, not a good thing. That young grain is coming through. Furniture polish. It lost a lot of its character, a lot of its flavor profile. There's a sweetness towards the end. I get corn. I get grain. As a grain whiskey, as in probably made from corn or wheat. Probably in this case, corn. It's 2016. That will probably be in the Old Forester cask Great Northern Distillery, and the 2010 is going to be Cooley grain there. Nope. All right. Now, to be very, very honest, I love what J.J. Corry is doing. Yeah, truly, I love what J.J. Corry is doing. Louise is a fantastic person, great idea. The trials and tribulation this lady has gone through to become a bonder in Ireland, to be on the at the table with some of the big boys. Applauding, applauding, applauding. Have I always been a fan of their liquid? No. They're using a lot of young grain, which I'm not partial to. I prefer older stock, which of course means more expensive stock. But I love what they're doing. Sips and Storage, she now has a cooperation with Barry from the States, which I think is great. Very, very good. Good luck getting it to America on time for Christmas. We'll see if that actually works. I think you're going to get your part done. I don't know if the importer is going to get his part done. That's what I'm worried about. But I just love the idea of the community. I love the idea of having the 200 people coming together, deciding together, getting the input. I did this. So people asked at the end of basically the session, Louise, please do a cask strength version. She was like, I really wasn't planning on doing it. I wanted the 46%, more bottles. We want cask strength. We want cask strength. We want cask strength. And she tried to argue a tiny little bit, and she discussed a little bit. We want cask strength. We want cask strength. And basically said, okay, you want cask strength? You get it. And I love that. I just respect and just all the admiration that I can give this lady possible for what she's done is there. Do I love this juice? No. It's basically a C plus in my book. Better than expected. Not mine, no. Better than probably what you expected with the C plus, and the value for money for 99 euros for a half liter container, of course, is more of a C minus. But the whole aspect of is the being part of a history-making moment. And therefore, it was worth, I didn't even think about it. Louise, you should have charged 130 euros for the cask strength. I would have bought a bottle without even thinking. That 10 euro difference between the cask strength and the normal was just too little. Don't bleed us, but a little bit more would have been fantastic there, because we were the persons who wanted it, right? All right. Keep on going. Keep on doing things like you do. Keep on pushing the envelope and pushing the borders and the limits and the bylaws and the regulations. Keep on having to black out one word here on your label each and every time because you piss someone off. I just love that, and keep that going. And I just want to say kudos. Congratulations, keep it up. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskey, one of 464 bottles today. Thank you very much for allowing me to be part of the journey. All the best. Bye-bye.